He kidnaps children, and he is called Bagman because after kidnapping children, he forcibly puts them in his bag and fills it. The child he is after, he gets it and then dies. So in this story too, he is after a child. Now, will his family be able to save the child, or will he also become a victim of Bagman? The film starts, and we see a father and daughter who are playing at a place. The girl was looking a little worried, which her father noticed. He says, "Son, what is the matter? You look a little worried. I also told your mother that our daughter has some tension. If there is something, you can tell me." On this, her daughter does not say much, just that I am worried about my past, but I hope that I will get better slowly. Her father says, "Okay, son, you go to the car. I will bring pizza for you so that your mood can get better." When the girl came near the car, the lights here started burning, after which all the lights suddenly turned off. The girl was very scared, and because it was too late, her dad had not returned. So, she herself decides to go to him. She reaches the same hotel from where her dad had come to get pizza. The hotel was completely empty, and when she goes ahead to see her dad, she was lying on the ground. Her condition was very bad, injured, and she was not able to get up. It seemed as if she was paralyzed. That is, her hands and feet were not working. She gets very scared seeing her dad's condition. But before she could understand anything, a bagman comes here, who grabs the girl and forcibly puts her in the bag and starts filling it. Then as soon as he closes the zip, the girl dies there. Now, this incident has been going on for 4 years. After this, we see a family in which the husband's name was Patrick, with whom his wife and their little son used to live. This family was living their life with great joy. Now today, Patrick's brother and his wife's sister come to their house to meet them. He used to come before. Now Patrick and his brother do wood business. Patrick tells his brother that I have made a machine that can cut trees in a very good and short time. With the use of this machine, a lot of our hard work and money will be saved. When his brother saw the work of the machine, he also said that, "Yes, brother, very good. Everyone will like this project of yours." Now here Patrick's wife, whose name was Karina, also talks to her sister. And then as soon as night falls, they leave from there. When Patrick was putting garbage in the dustbin, the lights of the house start burning, and he could hear the voice from the side of the jungle. Patrick thinks that someone has definitely come to the jungle. So he goes and checks, but he does not see anyone there, because of which he gets scared. In the morning, Patrick went to his company, where his brother was also there, and these two brothers were getting work done from the workers. This company was established by his father, whose owner were now these two brothers, because his father died. Patrick's brother says that since the time of his father's death, I used to have bad dreams, but somehow I handle myself. Now Patrick was making a wooden owl by carving with a knife. He had also made many other wooden animals, which his father had taught him. Now Patrick's brother went away from there, but Patrick starts thinking about his childhood. That one day in his childhood, he went to a cave near his brother. There was a time when there was digging work inside this cave. But for some time, the work stopped inside the cave, and no one had been coming here since then. Now, when little Patrick was standing near that cave, a man started coming out of the cave who had a scissor in his hand, and he cut his hair with a pinch. Seeing this, Patrick got very scared and fell down. But by then the man went back into the cave, while Patrick also ran away from there. Now in the present time, we see Karina, who is playing with her child at home. But when Karina started working on her laptop, she lost her mind from her child, and her child goes to the jungle while playing. He was actually following a doll and moving forward. Sometime later, when Karina thought about her child, she sees him, but when she does not see him, she starts looking for him everywhere. She was also very worried, but when she did not find the child, she went to check in the jungle. After going a little far, she finally found her child. Seeing this, Karina's life came to life. She picks him up and starts bringing him home, but she also realized her mistake that I should not have left my child alone like this. When Patrick came home at night, Karina also told him this. And as soon as the two were talking, the light suddenly starts to burn again, as it was doing before. Now seeing this, Patrick was surprised that why does this happen with the light? But he ignored this. Then he goes and starts working on his laptop. He was scratching the doll with a knife that he had been trying to make for so long. Then he got a mail that the big company is not ready to lend him money. He got angry with this, and he hits the knife on the table and breaks it. Then he throws it in the trash. Patrick heard a voice from his son's room. It felt like he was talking to someone. That's why he goes to his son's room, and asks him, "Who are you talking to?" The child says that there was a doll here. I was talking to that doll. But Patrick does not see any doll here. But ignoring this, he puts his child to sleep. And when he was coming back, the lights start to burn again. Now seeing this, Patrick was worried. He comes to his room and starts looking at the forest from the window. He feels that there is a person in the forest. That's why he comes out of the house with his baseball bat. And looking at the forest, he says that whoever you are, stop joking. Understand and come straight in front of me. Then I will see you. Saying this, he started waiting. But no one comes out of the forest. Then Karina also came out with her child. Patrick tells her to go inside the house quickly because someone is spying on us. Now, they spend the night somehow. But the next morning they called the police. They tell everything. And the police search their house, forest everywhere. But they don't find anything strange. When the police went to check on the roof, there were pieces of wood lying there. Seeing that, Patrick says, "How did these pieces of wood come here when I had thrown them in the garbage?" Then the police officer keeps the pieces of wood with him as evidence. And giving his number to Patrick, he says that you just be careful. And if any problem arises, call us. Then Patrick starts his work again. When he checked the garbage, he found the same owl that he had made as a child. But he didn't know how this childhood owl came to me. That's why he asked his wife about this. "Did you bring this owl?" Karina says no. "I have seen this owl for the first time." Patrick doesn't understand anything. He is thinking, how did my childhood toy come to me today? He also finds out that the knife that Patrick had broken and thrown in the garbage was also missing from there. Now Karina tells him that our child keeps playing flute all the time. That's why I have a problem working. She gives the flute to Patrick and tells him to hide it. So he puts the flute on a box. And Patrick himself started playing with his daughter. And his son started insisting while bathing that I want that flute. That's why Patrick goes to the warehouse. Because the box on which he had kept the flute, that box was now kept in the warehouse. Now after his departure, the child was alone. So the bagman opened the window and started coming to the bathroom. But Patrick had a hunch that something was wrong. That's why he came back to his child and takes care of him, where Karina had also come because she also heard her child's voice. His son was fine. He just says that I saw a doll here. Now Patrick was worried because he did not get the flute, although he had kept on the box. Even Patrick checks the garbage that maybe someone must have thrown it by mistake. But the flute is not even found in the garbage. After that, he went to sleep in his room. But then he got a message from the alarm in his phone that there is something wrong with it. That's why Patrick went to check the alarm. But he was absolutely fine. Just someone had opened the door of his shed. When Patrick goes to close the door of the shed, he sees a doll there, who was also wearing a cap. And this cap was Patrick's childhood. Now seeing this, Patrick was more nervous, because now his childhood cap had also come here. When he started coming back inside the house, he was shocked to see that all the windows and doors of the house were closed. He was left outside. He could not go inside his own house. But when he peeped through the window of the door, the bagman came inside. Patrick gets very nervous. He quickly breaks the window of the door, opens the door first, and comes inside quickly. He immediately goes to his wife and son and saves his life first. But when he checked the house, he did not find anyone. But Patrick is very scared. He calls the police the next day. The police officer tells him that you will be asked to install CCTV cameras outside your house. Okay, tell me, has anything disappeared from the house? At this time, Patrick says yes. My son's flute, which he often played. The officer calms him down. Do not worry. We will be around your house from now on. But Patrick is still worried. He did not understand what was happening. Why are the problems increasing for me day by day? He also tells his brother about this and says that whatever I made a fool of in childhood has come to me today. And the cap that I always wore, someone has also brought it. But I don't know who did this. Now, when Patrick was sleeping at night, he starts having bad dreams, like a bagman is taking his son away from him. Then Patrick starts remembering his childhood, that when one day he was going with his dad, he brought him near the same cave and tells that people say that there is a bagman in this cave. But no one has seen that bagman yet. And he kidnaps children and takes them away. Now Patrick was young at that time. That's why he tells his dad that I know you are scaring me, so that I can study well, do all my work. On this, his dad says, "No, son, I am not scaring you. I am telling the truth." And the bagman takes those children with him, who are good, listen to everything, and do their work well. So why would I want this even though I know the truth, my dear? I just wanted to say that you are also a good kid. So just be careful. And as soon as Patrick's thought is fulfilled, he calls a mental doctor in his house, who checks Patrick and tells him that Patrick just needs sleep. His sleep is not complete, which is why he sees strange things. and some things that do not even happen in reality. Like I found out from my research that Patrick was shown a strange man in his childhood, which Patrick had made in his drawings. But in reality, he was not the man because no one had seen him. So this is just Patrick's thought. Don't worry so much. Then she advises Patrick to get good sleep. But still, if you are afraid, then change your house once and see. Her idea was liked by Patrick and Karina. That's why they decide to stay in a hotel for a few days. And they leave their son at Karina's sister's house so that he will stay with his aunt for a few days. Then his mood will be good. Then Patrick and Karina come to the hotel. Both started talking. Karina asks him, "What happened to you in your childhood?" Then Patrick tells that it was about his dad's bagman. "I was very scared. That's why my dad came to me again. He gave me a knife and said that bagmen can stay around you. So for your safety, keep it with you always. And if you lose this knife, then bagmen will not leave you. And see, today I have lost that knife." There we see Karina's sister. She was talking to someone on the phone, and Karina's son was sleeping peacefully. But suddenly the light started to turn on. So she got a little scared and goes and checks the child, which was absolutely fine. But then the doorbell rang, and when she went and checked, it was the bagman, who had come here too. Seeing him, Karina's sister was very scared and quickly goes and takes care of the child. She tries to call someone to call for help, but by now everything had stopped working. That's why she took the knife in her hand, takes Karina's son and hides in the closet. But Bagman, who had seen him, also comes here to catch him. Bagman catches Karina's sister. In his rescue, she also attacks him and luckily saves her and the child's life. After a while, Patrick, Karina, and the rescue team also come here. Karina's sister was slightly injured. That's why she was bandaged. Then Patrick decides that I will take my family to my brother's house. That's why he takes them to his brother's house. Now Karina's sister was very scared. Karina tells her that you don't need to be scared because I am with you. Karina's sister tells that that man is very strange and dangerous. And when he grabbed my face, I was paralyzed. But thank God, with the help of a knife, I saved both of us. There was a baseball bat in Patrick's hand, and he decides to stay awake all night so that he can protect his child. Because by now he had understood that Bagman is after his son. But Karina tells him that there is nothing dangerous here because we are at your brother's house. He is also at home, and the police are also outside. So you sleep peacefully without worry. That's why Patrick also laid down. After a few minutes, when he checked the tab, Bagman had reached his son. See, Patrick got scared. He quickly ran to his son's room, but by then Bagman had taken the child. When Patrick came to his brother's room, he saw that his brother and brother's wife had died. When he came out, it was even more terrible because someone had killed the police, which was obviously the work of Bagman. He killed them all alone. Now Patrick was not going to leave Bagman. He thinks that Bagman has definitely put my son in his bag. That's why Patrick starts following him. While following him, he came close to the cave, but it was quite dark here, and Patrick did not have any weapons. Then he heard his son's voice from inside the cave, who was saying, "Dad, please save me." That's why Patrick comes to this cave and goes ahead looking for his son. He saw that a lot of candles have been lit here. There are also nests everywhere, in which all the children's favorite things were lying, which Bagman used to pick up and take them by putting them in his bag. Then Patrick opens a bag, which had the same doll that his son used to see. Patrick sees that my son's voice is coming from inside it. That means his son was not here. In fact, Patrick was also fooled by this doll. Seeing this, he got even more angry, and he breaks the doll. There, Karina and her sister found their child. That's how they handle it, and call the police. Patrick, who is still inside the cave, he says that whoever you are, why don't you come in front? He had to say that Bagman comes. He grabs Patrick's face from behind and started taking him with him. He was looking very scary like a ghost. He also brought a bag with him, and because of putting his hand on his face, Patrick gets paralyzed. He was not even able to move. He was just lying down, where his knife was lying, which he broke and threw in the garbage, which disappeared. Now, somehow Patrick picks up the knife and puts it around Bagman's neck. Here he also found the flute, which his son used to play. Now, somehow Patrick picks it up and tries to run away from here, but Bagman was not going to spare him. He also follows him. Now Patrick throws the flute out of the cave, but Bagman comes to him and grabs Patrick by the mouth and picks him up and forcibly puts in the bag he brought with him. Patrick starts to feel suffocated. Patrick's bones are badly broken, which means he dies. By then, Karina also comes out of the cave with the police. Seeing the flute here, she understands that Patrick is inside the cave. That's why a lot of police go inside the cave. But unfortunately, They don't get it. That's when we find out that in his childhood, his dad also said this, that Bagman only likes beautiful and small children to take with him, the child who is half in his sight. Bagman cuts his hair and then keeps an eye on him. Now, no matter how much the child grows up, Bagman does not stop following him. Then when he gets a chance, he puts the child in his bag and takes it. That's why in Patrick's childhood, Bagman chose him. He started keeping him in his eyes and cut his hair, although Patrick grew up, but he did not leave behind. And finally, he took him. It turns out that Bagman used to come to his house for Patrick, not for his son. And finally, he took him with him forever. And with this sad ending, this film ends here. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.